Welcome, guys. Welcome to the channel. We're still at the cemetery. It's in Spencer Cemetery, and we're gonna do some more. Here we go. But what I was saying is, the guy that mows, he said that, yeah, they try to fix stones, but he said there's just so many broken ones, but they do what they can. I said, I understand. If you're trying, it's different. But here's Arbor or Abel or something, Abel, and it's going to be the Theodosian, something like that, 1852 to 1891, and John, 1846 to 1902, and Ida, May 1881 to 1884. Then we got Coons, David Coons, 1830 to 1911, and Cornella A. Walters, his wife, 1832 to 1889, and their daughter Maggie Coons, 1864 to 1892. On that stone right there, guys. Then we have Benny F. Bocher, 1872 to 1932, and Maria V., his wife, 1874 to 1948. Then we have Walters. We have Emmanuel, 1828 to 1891. Mary Hildred, his wife, 1832 to 1893. And Harriet, their daughter, 1852 to 1908. Then we have, I just stepped in the mud. Miller, James Miller, November the 8th, 1833 to February 27th, 1913. Sarah, his wife, January 27th, 1839 to January the 12th, 1916. Then we have Francis S. Soy, 1851 to 1921, and Elsa Coons, his wife, 1853 to 1916. Then we have baby Ronald Ensign, March 22nd, 1951. Then we have Florence Ensign, 1913 to 1931. Cora, 1893 to 1957. And Clyde, 1889 to 1970. Then we have Susan Ream, 1855 to 1947. And Burbage John, 1888 to 1934. And Jenny, 1887 to 1959. Anyways, too, he was telling me that no one ever comes in this cemetery. He stopped me to ask what I was doing because he hadn't seen nobody here. Here's Payne. Here's William Payne, born July the 17th, 1825, and died December 21st, 1895, at the age of 70 years, 5 months, and 4 days. Then you have Anna Andrews, the wife of William Payne. She was born October the 15th, 1821, and she died March 22nd, 1907. She was 85 years, 5 months, and 7 days on that stone right there, guys. But he was shocked to see somebody here. He says, what are you doing? I said, I'm filming. He said, oh. I said, I ain't trying to, be nosy. He said, I was just wondering because I never seen nobody here. Here's Jacob Betts, 1851 to 1922, and Anna Payne, his wife, 1856 to 1933. But he was in shock that I was actually here. Here's Frankie L. He's the son of I&J and A&S Betts. Died June the 27th, 1890 at the age of 11 years, 7 months, and 2 days on that big old stone, guys. And that's all that's on that stone. All right. Then we have Miller. We have Frank, 1868 to 1942, and Vinny, 1871 to 1954. Then we have Hal. We have Emery R., 1860 to 1932, and Mary, 1861 to 1952. Then we have White. We have Frank White, 1855 to 1943, and Ida Elton, 1859 to 1939. Then we have Thomas Hunter, 1843 to 1928, and Sally E. Berman, his wife, 1843 to 1907. And something you don't know about Thomas is he is a veteran of the 1776 War, which is Revolution War. Thank you for your service, sir. All right. Then we have this one, and I can't tell nothing about because the peonies are so big and pretty. Very nice. This one here, they died in 31 to me. Or no, 83, I'm sorry. 83 here on this side, but I can't make out the name. And that's all that's on that beautiful stone. Next we have Harvey Browse, 1845 to 1923, and Margaret, his wife, 1846 to 1928. Then we have Fred G. Browse, 1884 to 1953. This next one's one of the coolest stones I've seen, but you can't read it. But it is neat. I'll show you just in a minute. Well, here, we'll show you now. It's one coming up. Right here. Is that not a cool stone? But you can't tell nothing about it because it's right in there and it's wore away. But you might be able to see it if I have my camera there. So I'll hold it there for just a second. All right, guys, let's move on. We don't like too many more in this area. All right. I think we got done how here. We did. We're up to this one. All right. This is Ross, Isabel Parent, his wife, 1851 to 1899, and John W. Ross, 1854 to 1905, and Julia A. Inman, his wife, 1851 to, well, there's Edgar E., 1849 to 1934, and Margaret, 1850 to 1930 on that stone. Let's see what their last name is. Their last name's going to be Parent. Right there. All right. Next, it's Burham. It's going to be Stedman Burham. And he died February 23rd, I want to say 1879. He was 62 years, 7 months, and I want to say 12 days on that one right there. He's the only one that's on that stone. Next we have Lucy M. Hills, 1860 to 1931 on that stone. Then we have Bessie Day. She's the wife of S. Burham. She was born August 26, 1818, and died March the 2nd, 1901 on that stone. Next we have Elsa Durhammer, his wife, 1846 to 1923, and Elzer H. Gallion, 1847 to 1915. All right. Next is this pretty stone right here, guys. And it's going to be Mary. She's the wife of J. and W. Gallion. She was born April the 2nd, 1815, and died November the 16th, looks like 44. Buried in Milton Wayne County, I think it says. All right, next we have John W. Gallion. He was born July the 30th, 1810, and died January the 7th, 1888. Then we have Elizabeth Hallwill. She's the wife of J.W. Gallion. She was born April the 8th, 1825, and died January the 7th, 1888. All right. Hang on, guys. We got to find some other area. So I'm going to pause this if I can see it. Okay, guys. Here's our first one. It's going to be Inman. And it's going to be Benjamin, 1851 to 1932, and Sarah J. Coons, 1852 to 1934. It's such a beautiful day here today. 70 degrees and sunny and no rain, very little wind. It's very nice. Here's White. We got George White, 1860 to 1942, and Alice, 1864 to 1904. Next, we're going to have an infant, and it looks like they died in maybe 51 or 61 or something right there. I can't really tell, but there it is. Bless its little heart. All right, here's our next one, guys. A big old stone right here. It's going to be Benjamin Soe, born July the 19th, 1814, and died October the 7th, 1881. Then it's going to be Marjorie. Okay. The wife of Benjamin, born March the 10th, 1817, and died October the 11th, 1895. And that's all that's on that big, beautiful stone. All right, here's our next one, guys. It's going to be Frederick Taylor, Revolution War, 1761 to 1852. Husband of Sarah, father of Rebecca Taylor Soe. But thank you for your service, sir. Revolution War. Right there. That other one was Revolution War too. The other one. So there's two in here for sure. Wow. Keep on trucking. We find more, might. Never know. All right. Here's going to be our next one. It's going to be Samuel Albie, something like that. Died March the 15th, 1894. He was 77 years, 2 months, and 7 days. Sarah A., his wife, died April the 4th, 1894, at the age of I'm not sure what that is. I think it's 89 years. 4 months and 12 days is what I see. But I'm not sure. All right. We're going to go ahead and get... I was trying to stay away out of this garden much because they're pretty wet. Give them time to dry up. Here's Frank. Whatever that word last name is. Geyser? I'm going to say Geyser. 1872 to 1962. Alta, 1876 to 1922. And Rosa, 1854 to 1907. And Allen Rice, 1848 to 1876. All right, they all went to that stone right there. Next we have Homer Soe, 1851 to 1910, and Emma F. Collins, his wife, 1851 to 1943. All right. Then we have Abel, or whatever that name was, again, but it's going to be over on this side. Boy, if they got them buried that way, they're being run over in the road. Oh well. It's either that way or this way, and I'm not sure which way, to be honest with you. Stone may be sitting on part of it to keep it from the road. Never thought of that. Anyways, here's Joseph. October the 25th, 1824 to February 12th, 1899. And Catherine, his wife, October the 4th, 1829 to February the 9th, 1904. Wow, that was a lot. Here's our next one. It's Manning, Frank A. Manning, 1856 to 1883, and Lucy Walters, his wife, 1861 to 1925. Then we have Henry Walters, 1834 to 1919, and Abigail Stedman, his wife, 1839 to 1912. On that stone right there, guys. Our next one's a nice stone too. There's a lot of pretty stones in here. Here's going to be Samuel W. Clark, 1842 to 1910, and Mary, his wife, 1844 to 1901 on that stone, guys. Right there. All right. Then we have Seaton, Joseph M. Seaton, 1861 to Jenny Blair, his wife, 1868 to 1909. And R.E. Seaton, 1891 to 1918. And H.S. Blair, 1870 to 1914. All on that stone right there, guys. All right. Then we have Cook, Lagretta, Van Vikenberg, 1820 to 1910 on that one. Then we have Ream, Wally L. Ream, 1860 to 1929, and Ida, 1862 to 1945 on that stone right there. Then we have Izzy Miller, 1880 to 1950 on this stone. That's a nice stone too. Our next one, I like the way they've done the writing. It's going to be Myrtle Donner Darty, 1869 to 1897. And then someone else is on this side. It's going to be Charlie J. Dartery, 1860 to 1928. All right. Let's see. I'll go ahead and get this corner one. Probably really gonna start this one till I get started on a new 30 minutes. This is Samuel, 1856 to 1931, and Anna, 1860 to 1945, and her last name was Shaw. And let's see. We got 12 more minutes. I might do some over here in the shade for a minute, cool down. It's getting a little hot. Getting a little hot. So let's go over here kind of towards the shade. Here we have Harriet Brown, 1848 to 1907. We have Thomas Brown, 1852 to 1918. Then here's their main stone right here. It's going to be George W. Brown, December the 25th, 1890 to March the 2nd, 1912. Then it's going to be Matilda Brown, 1872 to 1939. And then it's going to be Mary Brown, 1882 to 1913. Hey, that's my grandmother's name, Mary Brown. All right, here we have one of these, and I've not seen any like this one, and that's kind of cool. And it says they're at rest. It's Isaac C. Gara, born January the 6th, 1875, and he died February the 4th, 1908. He was only 33 years old. That's a good looking stone right there. All right. Next, we have Gara. We have John S. Gara, 1839 to 1911, and Rachel Trossel or something. I don't know, his wife, 1840 to 1913. Let's see. I'm going to go right here in the shade, guys. Here we have George March the 19th, 1870 to August the 20th, 1962. And Hattie, July the 6th, 1875 to November the 5th, 1859. Oh, it feels good under here. I'm going to lay down and take a nap right here. There's Florence Fulks Miller, 1907 to 1930 on that one. Then you got Arthur L. Fulks, 1918 to 1936. We have Mary A. Livingood, 1847 to 1929. And Samuel D. Livingood, 1840 to 1910. It is beautiful under this big old tree. Man, this tree's pretty. Look at that, guys. How pretty that tree is. All right, here we have Stewart. We have Mildred. And I want to say 1910 to 1914 is what it looks like. And then we have Alta, 1884 to 1916. And George, or something like that, 1877 to 1961. Then we have Carpenter. We have Marcy, 1888 to 1966. And Joseph, 1879 to 1961. And baby Rufadell, 1914. Then we have Rosabelle Carpenter Hawley, January the 17th, 1914 to August the 21st, 1993. Then we have Emma Marie Carpenter Vincent, August the 7th, 1908 to October the 5th, 1937. Then we have, I have no earthly idea. Then we have Baby Dixie, 1932. And we have Dorothy G. Howe, 1894 to 1937. Then we have Thomas Andrews, 1840 to 1916. And Anna E., his wife, 1854 to 1918, almost said 16. Then we have Bryant. We have Fairley, 1884 to 1933. Mary, 1848 to 1915. And Ira, 1843 to 1920. And he is a veteran. Thank you for your service, sir. All right. Then we have Samuel. I don't know that last name. Pommel, 1885 to 1914 on that stone. That's a good looking stone. Then we have William Payne, February the 15th, 1860 to February the 8th, 1917 on that stone right there, guys. Then we have Della M. Payne, 1866 to 1948 on that one. Oh, we got one way over here. There's a big space in between these. Someone's been chewing on a pine cone right on top of the gravestone. Probably a squirrel or a groundhog, because there's a hole right there. Probably a groundhog. Paul Nicholson, 1898 to 1973. Go gnaw somewhere else, groundhog. There it is. All right, next we have Matilda Broadwine Naylor, 1862 to 1946. Then we have Broadwine again. It's going to be Dora, 1873 to 1953. And Harvey, 1876 to 1948. And Harold, 1911 to 1919 on the bottom. All right, guys. Let's see. We got 5 more minutes. We could probably do a couple more right here then. There's not going to be way too many in this area I'm going to do. I've got an old section to go to, but I'm trying to knock some of this out while I'm here. So we will walk right here and do some more. Then we have Fred. March 28th, 1872 to November the 26th, 1945. That's a cool little stone. Then we have W.M. Oilgard or Degard. Degard. It looked like oil at first. Oilgard. I was like, what? But it's Degard. 1867 to 1919. And that may not even be how you pronounce it, but that's what I see. Here's Arthur Thomas. 1867 to 1937. Then we have Pelmer, or something like that, Joseph, 1889 to 1973. And Maxine, 1899 to 1983, looks like to me. All right. Then we have Bertha Milroyd, 1880 to 1958. Then we have Melvin Time, or something like that, 1879 to 1960. It's Kanaim Amanda, 1852 to 1940, and George, 1850 to 1924. Then we have Ingram. We have Martha Dawn, November the 9th, 1938 to June the 1st, 2019. Then we have Harvey Joe, March the 16th, 1936 to May the 28th, 2008. They were married April the 25th, 1958. Then we have Frankie F. Ingram, 1892 to 1977, and Harvey J., 1889 to 1961. Then we have Good Dorothy, 1913 to 2003, and Wallington Isabel, 1886 to 1924, and Clarence, 1884 to 1968. Then we have Lester Wallington, 1922 to 1924. On there. All right. It's really pretty up in this cemetery. This is a real pretty cemetery. And there's a big old church right over there. If you see that brown building straight through there, let's see if I can zoom in on it for you. Right there, guys, that brown building, that's a church. And it kind of attaches to the cemetery, but a very nice little town. But if you're in Spencer and you want a nice little cemetery to come read some stones at, stop in here. They got a bunch of openings towards the front. They get a little newer towards this back, but this is still considered the old cemetery till you get to the fur back garden over there, and that's where the new cemetery begins. But I appreciate you watching, and we're going to end this one, and we'll start another one. And peace. I'm out of here.